Okay. Steel ball starting from rest. Rolls down one slope and another, and then up another. And it takes 2.5 seconds to reach the bottom of the first slope. So time to get to the bottom, 2.5 seconds. At which point its speed is 5 meters per second. If the magnitude of the acceleration on the second slope is exactly 1/2 of the first slope, how long will it take for the ball to come on to a stop on the second slope? Okay, so I'm going to treat this as if there's 2 stages to it. Okay, in stage 1, I have the following information. Follow me, Mary? Okay, so I've got V1, I've got T, and I've got V2. Can I find my acceleration?
Yeah.
Okay, what am I going to use to find acceleration? I minus 0 over 2.5, which is equal to 2 meters per second squared, right? Okay, so I've got that information for stage 1. In stage 2, I'm looking for the time. What else do I know in stage 2? So where it starts going back up the next slope. What other information do I know? The acceleration is 1/2 of that, right? So what's your acceleration? 1 meters per second squared. Now, is it going to be a positive or a negative? You're going up a slope. So is your object going to slow down or speed up? Slow down. So then I'm going to make that a minus 1 meters per second squared. Okay, what else do I know? Now I'm looking for the time. What else do I know?
V1.
What's V1?
5.
V1 is 5. Because when you hit the bottom of the slope, you're going at 5 meters per second. So that's what you start your speed at to get to the top. What else do I know?
V2 is 0.
V2 is 0. Very good. Okay? Follow that? Okay, Mary, I want you to look at the board now. So I started in the first. So basically, what it looks like is this. I move down my slope. Okay? And I go back up the slope. So at this point right here, it's at 0. Right? More possible. Down and then back up. Alright? At the bottom here, V2 is 5 meters per second. The time it takes to go from the top to the bottom is 2.5 seconds. Okay? I can get my acceleration from there. If I was asked for it, I could get my distance too, if I needed it. Now once I hit the bottom, what's my speed at the bottom? 5 meters per second. So that ball comes down and it's going to go back up. Well, as soon as it starts going back up, what's the speed? Same as that. Gets to the top and it stops. Right? And then my acceleration was 1/2 of that. And negative. Follow? Right? Okay? So you're going to see a lot of questions in which we take from the first and we need to use in the second. And in fact, there's a lot of questions in the kinematics that deal with 3 stages. something speeding up, something going constant speed, something slowing down. There are 3 stages. You have to know what applies from one stage to the next stage. Okay? In this case, what did I carry over from the first stage to the second stage? V2 became V1 over here. I was able to get my acceleration because it was half of the original acceleration. So you have to be able to take from one side and move to the next stage and then keep going with the question. You will always be given 3 or 4 pieces of information for every one of these questions. So the key is, how do I place it from one and into the other so that I cover all of the 3 pieces of information that I need? Okay? Mary, you okay? Yeah? All right. Other questions today? Sam?
On page 59. I got 15 meters per second.
The average velocity of the object from time 0 to time 8 seconds. Is that right?
Yeah. It's on the graph right beside it, right?
Yes. Okay, so let's find our displacement for 8 seconds. What's our displacement for 8 seconds?
Negative 80. Oh, whoopsies.
No.
Maybe 80 to go negative 30.
That's not displacement. Displacement's the area underneath the graph. So you have to find, so let's look for the first 2 seconds. You're going 80 meters per second for 2 seconds. So your displacement in the first 2 seconds is 160 meters. And that's still in the positive. In the next second, you go from 80 to 0. So you've got a displacement of 1/2 1 by 80, which is equal to 40 meters. Right? And then you're stationary until 5 seconds. And then from 5 to 8, so that's 3 seconds, right? It's a triangle again. I'm going 1/2, 3 times negative 40. Now I'm going to write negative 40 in here. Okay? Because I need to subtract it off of this because it's going in the opposite direction. Right? So what does that equal? So you're 140 meters, your velocity average, 140 meters over 8 seconds. Okay? You follow that? And they said that east was the positive in this case.
Oh, I see. You broke that one between 0 and 3 into 2. That rectangle and triangle.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yes. Okay, you good?
Yeah, thank you.
From. Anybody else today? Alright, so you should be done to the end of 74 already. If you're not, you need to get moving, and then you need to get into your review questions, which I handed out yesterday. And you can do those starting today. Alright? Nothing else today?
No, but I forgot my calculator. Can I grab it, please?
No.